Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we will discuss Hilbert basis theorem. This is an important theorem which usually comes in 16 marks. The statement of the theorem is, if R is an Artesian ring, then the polynomial ring over R in indeterminate X, that is also Noetherian ring. We will prove the result for left Noetherian ring. You can consider the ring to be right Noetherian also. So let us consider the ring R is left Noetherian ring. And we prove that the polynomial ring over R, that is also left Noetherian. For this, we prove that every left ideal of this polynomial ring is finitely generated. So let us take a left ideal A of this polynomial ring. Now, if this ideal is zero ideal, then clearly it is finitely generated. So we have nothing to prove in this case. So let us take A be non-zero left ideal of this polynomial ring Rx. Now, for integer k greater than or equal to 0, let us define Ik, the collection of all those non-zero elements A of the ring R for which there exists a polynomial in A of degree k having the leading coefficient A. And we have taken the union of this set with 0 element. Now, we claim that this Ik, that is left ideal of the ring R. So first of all, let us show that Ik is non-empty. Now, because from here we can see that 0 element of the ring belongs to Ik, so we can say that Ik is non-empty. Now to prove it left ideal, let us take two elements A and B belonging to Ik. Now by definition of Ik, there will exist polynomials. Let us take the polynomials are fx and gx. These are the polynomials in A such that A becomes the leading coefficient of the polynomial of degree k. That polynomial is here fx. So fx is the polynomial of degree k having the leading coefficient a. So we have denoted it by a x raised to the power k plus a1 into x raised to the power k minus 1 plus and so on. The constant term is ak. And b is the leading coefficient of the polynomial gx. G is the polynomial given by b x raised to the power k plus b1 into x raised to the power k minus 1 and so on. And the constant term in this polynomial is bk. So we have taken these two polynomials fx and gx in A corresponding to the elements a and b respectively. Now these two elements a and b, they can be same or they can be different. So if the elements a and b, they are same, in that case a minus b will be 0 and 0 element already belongs to Ik. So in this case a minus b belongs to Ik. So the first condition for being the ideal is proved. In the case if a and b are different, in that case a minus b is non-zero. And if we find the difference of the polynomials fx and gx, we can see that that is a polynomial of degree k having the leading coefficient a minus b, because here a minus b is non-zero. And because the polynomials fx and gx, they belongs to a and a is left ideal of the polynomial ring Rx. So the difference of these two polynomials belongs to a. Thus we have obtained fx minus gx, a polynomial of degree k in a, and so by definition its leading coefficient that will belong to ik. So leading coefficient of this polynomial, that is a minus b. So a minus b belongs to ik. Now the second condition for the left ideal, let us take an element R belonging to the ring R and an element A belonging to ik. We have to prove that R into A belongs to ik. Now because A belongs to ik, so by definition of ik, A will be the leading coefficient of a polynomial of degree k in A. So let us take a polynomial fx from A such that A is the leading coefficient of this polynomial. Now if R into A is 0, then 0 element already belongs to ik. So in this case our result will be proved. And if R into A is non-zero, then in that case R is the leading coefficient of the polynomial R into fx. And R into fx belongs to A. And degree of this polynomial, that is k. So by definition Ra belongs to ik. So we have proved ik is left ideal of the ring R. Now next we claim that the sequence formed by these ideals, that is an ascending sequence, means the ideal ik is contained in ik plus 1 for every k greater than equal to 0. To prove this condition, let us take a non-zero element A belonging to ik. If we take A belongs to ik, then by definition of ik, this A will be the leading coefficient of a polynomial of degree k in A. So we have taken the polynomial fx belonging to A such that this A is the leading coefficient of polynomial fx. Now if we multiply both sides by x, this will become x into fx is equal to A into x raised to the power k plus 1 plus a1 into x raised to the power k and so on. The last term will become akx. Now this expression again belongs to A because A is left ideal of the polynomial ring Rx. So by definition of left ideal, if we take x belonging to the polynomial ring and f belonging to A, then x into f, that will again belong to A. Now this element belongs to A and degree of this polynomial is k plus 1. So by definition we can say that A belongs to ik plus 1. So we have obtained an ascending chain of left ideals of the ring R such that the ascending chain is I0 is contained in I1, I1 is contained in I2 and so on. Now because we have taken the ring R to be left Noetherian, so by definition this ascending chain will terminate after a finite number of steps, means there will exist a positive integer, say m, such that im will be same as im plus 1, that will be same as im plus 2 and so on. In general we can say that im will be same as im plus I for every I greater than or equal to 0. Now let us consider the ideals I0, I1, I2, I3 up to Im of the ring R, and let us apply the definition because we are given R is left Noetherian. So these ideals are finitely generated ideals of R. So let us take these ideals are generated by the elements. In general, let us take the ideal ik is generated by the elements ak1, ak2, ak3 and so on. The last we have taken ak with the suffix nk in the base, such that these all elements are non-zero elements, and here this k varies from 0 to m. Therefore, By definition of finitely generated ideal, Ik can be written as summation R into the elements Aki. Here I varies from 1 to nk. Now let us take the corresponding polynomials in A. These are denoted by the polynomials f, k, j. Means we can say that these elements a, k, j which we have taken, those are the leading coefficients of these polynomials of degree k. Now let us take S with a set of all these polynomials f, k, j. Here j varies from 1 to nk and k we have taken from 0 to m. And let us take an b which is a left ideal of the polynomial ring Rx generated by this set S. Then we claim that B is same as A. Then our result will be proved. Now, in order to prove B is contained in A, first of all, let us show that B is contained in A. Now, because these polynomials f, k, j, they belongs to A, and this is true for every k and j. So, the left ideal B, which is generated by these polynomials, that will be contained in A. So, we can say that B is contained in A. Now, it remains to prove that A is contained in B. So, let us take an element from A. We have denoted by F. F belongs to A. If F is 0, then it already belongs to B. So let us consider the case when F is non-zero, and suppose the degree of this polynomial F, that is n. Now we are to prove that A is contained in B. To prove this, let us apply induction on n. So for n is equal to 0, if n is 0, degree of this polynomial will be 0. So fx will be a constant polynomial. So let us take fx is the polynomial A. A is non-zero and A belongs to I0. By definition, Ik we have taken, which is generated by the elements ak1, ak2, ak3 up to aknk. So from there we can say that I0 will be generated by the elements A01, A02, A03 and so on. The last element is A0N0. Now A belongs to I0. So by definition, A can be written as a linear combination by taking coefficients from the ring R. So we have taken coefficients R1, R2, R3 up to Rn0. These are the coefficients from the ring R. So A can be written as a linear combination of the elements A01, A02, A03 up to A0N0. Now, by definition, A01 that is same as F01, A02 that is same as F02. So we can substitute the values of these elements A01, A02, A03 and last is A0N0. So substituting the values, we have obtained the value of A in this form, and A belongs to B now. So we have proved the polynomial fx belongs to B. So we have proved A is contained in B. The first step of induction we have proved. We have proved the result for n is equal to 0. Now let us assume n is greater than or equal to 1, and as an induction step, let us assume the result is true for all those polynomials which are having degree less than n. Means if we have a polynomial g which belongs to A and having the degree less than n, then that polynomial g belongs to B. Now there are two possibilities. Either n will be greater than or equal to m or n will be less than m. So let us consider the first case when n is greater than or equal to m, and the leading coefficient of the polynomial fx is a. Now a belongs to In, and we had already proved that the sequence of the ideals In, that is terminating after finite number of steps, means the ideal Im is equal to Im plus 1 is equal to ideal Im plus 2, and so on. Means in general we can say that Im is same as Im plus I for every I greater than equal to 0. So here in this case we have considered n greater than or equal to m. So by using this condition we can say that In will be same as Im. So here In is same as Im. By definition of ideal Ik, we can say that Im is generated by the elements am1, am2, am3, and so on. The last element is amnm. Now, so we can write A as a linear combination of these elements by taking coefficients from the ring R. So we have taken the coefficients Ri from the ring R, and we have written A as a linear combination of these elements. Now, let us take a polynomial G, which is written in the form summation I varies from 1 to nm x raised to the power n minus m into Ri into the polynomials fmi. Then the leading coefficient of this polynomial, that is a, and degree of this polynomial is n. So the degree of the polynomial f minus g, that will be at most n minus 1. So by induction step, because the degree of this polynomial is less than n, so we can say the polynomial f minus g belongs to B, and also the polynomial g belongs to B, so their sum will also belong to B. So we can say that the polynomial f belongs to B. So we have proved in this case A is contained in B. Now let us consider the second case when n is less than m. Now A belongs to In. By definition, we have taken Ik is generated by the elements ak1, ak2, ak3 up to the element ak and k. So putting k is equal to n here, we can say that A belongs to the ideal In, which is generated by these elements. Here now leading coefficient of the polynomial fx, that is A. So A belonging to In means A can be written as a linear combination by taking coefficients from the ring R. Now let us define a polynomial G, which is given by summation Ri into the polynomials Fni. Here I varies from 1 to n in the base. Now the leading coefficient of this polynomial, that is A, and its degree is n. So the degree of polynomial f minus g, that will be at most n minus 1. Now we can use induction step here, because according to induction step, if a polynomial belongs to A and it having the degree less than n, then the polynomial belongs to B. This polynomial f minus g, that belongs to A, because the polynomial g belongs to B. B is contained in A, so the polynomial g belongs to A, and the polynomial fx already belongs to A. A is an ideal of the polynomial ring Rx, so fx minus gx belongs to A. Now f minus g is a polynomial in A having the degree less than n, so by induction f minus g belongs to B. Also the polynomial g belongs to B, so their sum will also belong to B. So we can say that f belongs to B. So we have proved A is contained in B in this case also. Now A is contained in B, B is contained in A, so we can say that A is equal to B. Now B is finitely generated, so A will also be finitely generated. A was an arbitrary left ideal taken from the polynomial ring Rx. So we have proved that every ideal of this polynomial ring is finitely generated. So this proves that the polynomial ring Rx is left Noetherian ring. So this completes the proof of Hilbert-Bess's theorem.